This DIY starts at Walmart and the bathroom. I took an empty toilet paper roll and hot glued it to a wood round made for crafts. Then I took it out to my garage and gave it a paint job in all black. I set that aside and pulled out my Walmart placemat. Then I cut off about the bottom third of it. Using another wood round, I added hot glue along the edge and carefully lined up the placemat and the wood. Once the two ends met, I glued them together as well. I used a little more hot glue to bring both parts of this project together, and then I was left with the coolest, ultra-modern table lamp that I can use to light up any space in my home.
For this project, I headed to my local Dollar Tree and I scooped up one of their wired napkin holders. As well, in the kitchen section, I found these cool leather placemats. And then I also scooped up one of these rectangular gold wire baskets. So I began by placing my wire basket over top of the wired napkin holder. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut off the rim around the wire basket, and this just makes it easier to move the wires. I'm also going to take the wires at the end, one end, and I'm going to cut those off. Then I'm going to go around and I'm going to continue cutting off the rim, like I said, so that this wire basket is more pliable and I can actually shape it and mold it around my wire napkin holder. Once I have it all shaped out, I'm then going to come in and take some plastic zip ties and I'm going to attach the napkin holder directly in the middle using the zip ties. And I'm going to pull them really tight, and this is going to form the wired basket onto the napkin holder to create the shape. So I'm going to attach it in 4 areas on each side of the napkin holder, pulling them really tight and then cutting off the ends of the zip ties. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a battery operated flashlight. This flashlight has 2 functions, so a side light and a top light, and I'm going to use zip ties to attach it to the napkin holder. Then I'm going to take my leather placemat and placing it on the front of the wire basket, I'm going to wrap it around to the back. This placemat is the perfect size and meets perfectly at the back. I'm going to take some zip ties to secure it, working the zip ties through the holes and then pulling them nice and tight. Once I have 4 zip ties in place, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use some scissors to cut off the excess of the zip ties so they're not sticking out. And then my wall sconce is completed. To hang my wall sconce on my wall, it's very light, so I'm just going to use a little bit of 3M command strip picture hanging strips. So these are super easy to use. They're just Velcro and you just stick them together, and then there's a sticky side on each. So you can stick one side to the wall sconce and then one side to your wall. All you need to do is simply follow the hanging instructions on the back of the package and you can hang up the wall sconce. I designed this wall sconce for this area by my front door. It's a darker area and needed a little light, and I was so happy that I was able to do this with just a few Dollar Tree supplies. It didn't cost me very much at all, and now I have a beautiful light that I can use here by my side door, and it just fills this space perfectly. I hope this project inspires you to get creative with things that you find at Dollar Tree and even use this idea to create your own.
You're not going to believe what I made with this plunger and funnel. I removed the wood stick from the plunger and flipped the rubber end inside out. I drew a circle on the top using a sour cream container for a guide. I cut out the circle and trimmed the edges. I placed it on top of newspaper and spray painted it with Rust-Oleum black spray paint. While that was drying, I cut and sanded 1x6 wood planks. I attached the painted rubber plunger piece to the barnwood with 4 black screws. Next, I cut the wood plunger handle and I screwed it into the plunger part. I attached the funnel to the wood plunger handle with another black screw. I used hot glue and attached a battery-operated puck light, and now I have a rustic farmhouse wall sconce for my front entrance for a fraction of the cost of buying new.
Head to the recycle bin for this cute and creative idea that won't break the bank. To start, I'm choosing an LED puck light from the Dollar Tree. Lights that come with a remote would be an added bonus. To determine the wood sizes, one piece of wood is cut to the same width of the tin can, one piece slightly larger for the base, and 2 cedar strips measuring 12 inches long that will hold up the can. Working within the smaller board thickness, I'm pre-drilling 2 screw holes on the bottom of each cedar strip plus 1 hole near the top. I'm now choosing my paint colors of raw silk and coal black by Fusion Mineral Paint. Both cedar strips and the smaller wood block are being painted in 2 coats of black. Using a gloved hand for protection from the metal, I'm positioning the tin can over my hand, then painting it with 2 coats of raw silk. Now it's assembly time. The main base is being placed good side down, then the smaller block of wood is being positioned on top and traced. I'm now pre-drilling 4 screw holes in the main base within the marked area. Flipping the base good side up, I'm positioning the smaller board on top of the base, then holding that position, carefully flipping it around and attaching the 2 pieces together from the underside with screws. This will mount the 2 boards together without the screws showing. I'm now attaching the 2 cedar strips to both sides of the smaller piece of wood through the 2 screw holes. Now the tin can is being held in between the 2 cedar strips. I'm drilling a small hole through one side of the can using a small metal drill bit, then attaching the can to the strips with a short screw. You can also use a nut and bolt if preferred. I realized later that you could slightly see the inside of the can, so I'm doing a quick touch-up with the paint to cover any exposed metal. To enhance the overall look, I'm hot gluing some thin white rope to the entire edge of the open can's side, which softens the edges really nicely. Then with a quick push of a button, my tin can task light is ready to use wherever I wish. This hands-free task lighting is surprisingly very bright thanks to the LED puck. And the can is easy to position wherever you need a little bit of extra light. I love the aesthetic of the tones, which marries my home office really well. Plus, there's even a place for a sticky notepad to help me get my work done. Plus, my coffee cup even fits using it as a coaster.
Grab a simple lamp and some plain paper plates for this fun and easy DIY. To start, fold one plate in half and make a 1/4 inch mark on either side of the fold. Draw 2 lines across the plate and cut the plate along those lines. Take one of the paper plate halves and use it as a template to draw the same lines on the rest of your plates. You will cut half the plates along the lines and fold the other plates along those lines. The number of plates you'll need will vary based on the circumference of your lampshade. This shade has a diameter of 5.5 inches, and we used a total of 50 paper plates. Starting with one of the folded plates, use your hot glue gun to glue the spine to your lampshade. You'll then glue one of the cut plate halves right next to the folded plate. Repeat this alternating pattern all around the circumference of the shade. Once the shade is filled in, attach it to your lamp base and enjoy your new modern light fixture.